Morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock. I'd like to call the January 6th meeting of the McLeod County Board of Commissioners to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd ask you to remain standing after for a moment of silence for all McLeod County employees and officials that have passed in the last year of 2025. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And again, good morning, everyone. We'll start with the consideration of agenda items. Are there any additions or corrections?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
With that, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
And second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda. Any corrections or additions to it?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Move consent, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Chaska. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will now adjourn the board sine die from 25 to going into 2026. I'll use my chair's preference to adjourn 2025.
Thank you. We'll call to order the first organizational meeting of 2026 of the McLeod County Board of Commissioners. I'm requesting nominations for the 2026 County Board Chair.
Nominate Commissioner Doug Kruger.
And I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Wright to nominate Commissioner Kruger, a second by Commissioner Schmaltz. Are there any other nominations?
I'll make a motion to cast unanimous ballot for Commissioner Doug Kruger as chair.
Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I will now request nominations for vice chair for 2026.
Commissioner Nathan Schmalz.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright for Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Are there any more nominations? Are there any more nominations?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to cast unanimous ballot for Nathan Schmalz as vice chair.
Motion's been made to cast unanimous ballot for Commissioner Nathan Smalls for vice chair. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Nathan.
Thank you.
All right, moving into our January 6th agenda, consideration of agenda items. Is there a motion?
No changes, Mr.
No
Chair.
changes. Move to approve.
And second.
Motion's been made and seconded for the agenda items for the January 6th meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda. Motion's been made by Commissioner Chaska. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Any discussion? There was no additions or corrections.
No changes, Mr. Chair.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Environmental Services.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
One item for your consideration this morning, and that is to consider approving a conditional use permit, 25-22, as requested by Bill Casey. Driving School 101 to operate a commercial truck driving school as a home occupation in an accessory building greater than 2,400 square feet and on a 70-foot perimeter area around 2 accessory buildings. The Tacoma Township Board recommended approval on December 15th, 2025. The McLeod County Planning Commission recommended approval at its meeting on December 17th, 2025 with the following conditions. Number 1, this structure shall not be rezoned if split sold without the applicant or owner's dwelling. Number 2, hours of operation shall be 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, only during the months of February through May. Number 3, the training area shall consist of a 70-foot perimeter around the west and south side of the accessory buildings and 100 feet north and east side of the buildings. Number 4, the commercial vehicle entrance shall be either onto Tagus Avenue, which is County Road 12, or 220th Street, which is a township road. Number 5, a new conditional use permit will be required if more than 7 non-resident employees report to this parcel. Number 6, the applicant shall install an approved screening plan along the south property line as recommended by the McLeod County Soil and Water District within 36 months from the date if approved. We had quite a bit of discussion on this. There was a lot of township involvement. I believe that the conditions that were placed on this cover the concerns of the members or the residents in the area. So I believe that the Planning Commission did quite a bit of work on this as well at their meeting, and we came to a good resolution.
Mark, I would hope for a good resolution. I just, what, could you just tell me what some of the cons were that, I mean, there's, in my opinion, there's definitely a need for that type of, just because there's such a need for truck drivers for one thing. But I wouldn't understand the cons is what I'm
The
trying.
concerns were in regards to personal use versus business use.
Okay,
That was the main concern.
okay.
So after working through that, Commissioner Cheska can speak to that, but Planning Commission, our County Planning Commission did a really nice job of being able to work through that and vet the differences between what the home occupation, the business use is versus the personal use. And the residents that did attend were comfortable with what we had brought forward to the board for consideration of conditions.
Okay, I have faith in the planning commission, so I would hope that would go through. Is there any other questions from the board?
I can just comment,
Go ahead
Mr.
if
Chair,
you
too. Like Mark said, it was a really good meeting. It would be nice if they were all that congenial. There was a bunch from the township there, the landowners around there. It went well. We tweaked a few things that Mark had originally had from what the township wanted to make it a little bit easier. And I mean, everybody was walking out of that meeting smiling, so everybody was extremely happy, and hopefully it just goes as well as it appears it should. So
Was that a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Schatzkin, second by Commissioner Wright to approve permit 2522. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Building maintenance, Joe.
Good morning. 2 items for your consideration. Item A, consider approving the customer value agreement with Ziegler Companies for the Government Center generator from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028 at a cost of $16,481.58, billed annually at $5,493.86, with funds from the Government Center Building Budget 01-113. This represents a 5% increase over the previous contract and also locks us in for the pricing for 3 years.
I do understand the need for an extended, basically what I would call extended warranty, but I'm a little disappointed. They did not cover that seal, is that correct? the seal that just
Correct.
went out, and what was their reason for not, I mean, why have all this extra and when they won't cover it?
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that's,
that's not a gotcha, I understand how it works, but I'm a little disappointed that we have this. It's not like it runs every day, which is probably worse than running it every day when it comes to that seal, but I was really disappointed that they wouldn't back that up.
yeah, so that seal is a main component on the engine. What is covered is the, like the coolant hoses, and the fluids, underneath the coolant, maintenance.
But that was under the initial warranty even, that wasn't, or wasn't it? Was that on an extended contract like this one?
So this is a service maintenance agreement, so
Okay.
this is, changing, oil change, filters, 67-point inspection, load testing, the units, so it gets each one of these units will get load tested annually. And that load testing actually helps, reset the piston rings. It helps with, decarbonization of the engine, so it puts it under
But
like
we were
a
doing
peak
that,
load.
we were doing that on the first round before the
Correct.
seals, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just voicing my opinion that, we
Yeah.
have these agreements and then there's always a reason why, that's not covered. But I'm just, again, that's my comment. Is there
Yeah.
any other comments from the board?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I share your concern as well, and I think we just have to realize that this is a service agreement and take it as such, and it's really, unless I'm looking at it wrong, it's really not gonna cover, wear items.
correct. Yeah, I mean, now, like the batteries are part of this, so those are due to be changed this year. And oil, coolant,
No,
yeah,
and
the
I
load
get that
testing,
part of
so-
I mean, if you share my concern, or my concern is, we did all that. And still, I mean, it's like, it didn't, it's just my concern,
Yeah.
and I'm a little disappointed in an outfit like Ziegler to not, it's
Yeah.
not surprising, but that doesn't mean I understand the difference between a service agreement and a warranty, but however, when you do all your service agreements, that usually accents your warranty, but. Wishes of the board?
Move to approve.
And second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve the service agreement with Ziegler. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
All right, item B, consider approving the customer value agreement with Ziegler Companies for the McLeod County Courthouse generator from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028, at a cost of $10,517.01, billed annually at $3,505.67, with funds from the courthouse buildings budget 01-111. This also represents a 5% increase and locks in the pricing for 3 years.
Okay, it's basically the
It's the exact
same deal, only different generators, so,
Yeah,
board's
different
wishes.
size. This is a 200 KW, the one here is a 500 KW, so much larger.
Isn't the one up at the government, or the courthouse a little older too? Not that it
Yeah,
matters.
it's a few years old,
Okay.
yeah.
Board's wishes.
Move request, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chotska. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic Development, Liz?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had invited our regional analyst with Deed to join us today to give us an update on our labor market and economic trends in McLeod County. We are going to reschedule that for another meeting coming up, hopefully in February or March.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I
Go
just
ahead.
want to ask that we could avoid scheduling that for the last meeting in February if possible, even if that means that we would have to go into March. I know it's time sensitive with the information he's bringing, but he gave a very good presentation at Liz's last meeting that she held at Ridgewater College with the area, and Liz then reached out to Commissioner Wright and discussed the information and asked if it would be of value to the board, and it may be an annual presentation from Mr. Griner, so it will be a very good presentation, but we'd like if all commissioners could be present during that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. Griner's, I mean, I think is very knowledgeable and interesting. I just, my only interest is to try and keep it, small business, to accent small businesses and our, we have a lot of them in McLeod County, so I think some of that information would be helpful. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Health and Human Services, Barrett. Morning, Barrett.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I have 4 items for you today. Item A is to consider approving the memorandum of understanding with Safe Generations Counseling LLC to participate in a multi-county Family First Prevention Services Act Prevention Partnership and authorize the chair of the County Board of Commissioners to execute the agreement on behalf of McLeod County. There's a lot of information in your packet here. Hopefully you've had a chance to read it. I'm not going to read it all. I'm simply going to say what this means is that there is a grant with DHS for $8 million, no, $10 million, excuse me, and with 8 grantees applicable. And so the 18 counties of southwestern Minnesota are joining together in hopes to work with Safe Generations, who will apply on our behalf, be the fiscal host, and then we'll be able to use these dollars to train and coach, implement different things with the goal of meeting our Family First Prevention Services Act goals that have been set out by DHS. So we are not giving them any money. We are not obligated to anything. This basically just says that we will enter into an MOU with them. They will apply on our behalf. We can get out any time. If they are awarded that grant and we don't find it fit for us, we can leave it any time. So.
Barrett, does that, when you say us, is that the consortium or the money is through the whole? And then it's divided,
Yeah.
I mean, how would you go about, or
We-
maybe it's too early, but
It
how
is-
would you
yep,
go about
it's too early.
splitting that up?
Yeah.
It-
The money, if we were granted the money, we are hoping for about $800,000. And that money would go to Safe Generations. They are a trusted and true provider of education for child welfare, child protection type activities. So then we would collaborate with them. They would provide the training for our staff. We would do it in regional hubs because we know that all of our child protection staff cannot be out of the office at one time. So some of those details would still need to be ironed out.
Wishes of the board.
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second? Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
And Barrett, I know that, we're kind of entering some new territory here, but why I can support, exploring this route is, a 30-day written notice to withdraw from the program.
Yep.
So that makes it work for me, and I'm happy that we're working with the Southwest 18 on this, and I think hopefully we'll see some good benefits from the program.
Yes, and that would be what I'd ask is an update to see, I mean, it's,
Of course.
I hate
yes.
to use the word no-brainer, but it's kind of a no-brainer not to apply it and
Not to at
then
least try.
see where it goes.
Right, yep.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, consider approving the contract for services with Donna England to provide support services to children and families at a rate of $30.75 per hour, not to exceed 300 hours or the equivalent of $9,225 for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, with funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. Services that may be provided include parenting assistance, money management, meal planning and grocery shopping, learning appropriate social skills and independent living skills. This is a 3% increase from the 2025 contract.
Wishes of the board.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Barrett, kind of a simple question, I hope, but being we put a not to exceed on this, do we hit that benchmark, or are we pretty comfortable with proceeding with the options you give us here?
Thank you for that question. It really depends on the year. We haven't ever needed to exceed that, so we do feel really comfortable with that 300 hours.
Very good, thank you, Barrett.
Thank you.
Just a double check on a question. I see it's a 3% from 2025, and I didn't see earlier. So this is actually just a renewal of.
It is a renewal, yeah.
Okay.
We've used Miss England for a
Okay.
number of years for this services and are very happy with the job that she does.
Very good. Any more
Mr.
discussion?
Mr. Chair, I have one
Go ahead.
question. I'm gonna go back to Nathan's question. So, we've seen a lot of these in the last couple months, and I get it,
Sure.
it's, year end,
It's
new year.
that time, yep.
So, with these contracts, do you ever meet or exceed those dollar amounts? Like, so it sounds like a great program. I mean, I feel like sometimes I should be in these programs, but
Yeah.
like, so we're getting benefit out of them, not the maximum benefit if we don't use them, but at least it's a benefit to that. So the
Right.
rest of these programs, like the rest of them you have here, it looks, well, the next one for sure is another
Not to exceed.
renewal.
Yep,
So, like,
yeah.
what do you think on your programs? Do you max out? Do you get?
Yeah, it really depends on the year. It depends on our families and our cases that they're managing and the needs of the clients, whether or not they need these type of services, whether or not they're willing to take these type of services. At the end of the contract year, when we're negotiating a new contract and thinking about that, if we would ever need to increase those hours, that would be something that we would be able to discuss with that contractee. For this year, no one has requested increased hours because of need, and we haven't seen that need either.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
And then another question, kind of on that same thought, is if we saw we were in the October, November timeframe and there was a need, you would be coming before the board if we're
Absolutely.
going over and above that amount?
Yep, because this contract does say will not exceed, so I would need to come back to the board to get approval for additional service.
Very good, thank you, Barrett.
Any other questions for Barrett? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. The next two items are contract with Hutchinson Health. So item C is consider approving the purchase of service agreement with Hutchinson Health in Hutchinson, Minnesota, to provide outpatient mental health services for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, at a cost not to exceed of $15,500 with funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. Hutchinson Health will provide the following outpatient mental health services: testing and evaluation, group and individual therapy, services to clients after hospitalizations, medication review, medication management, and maintenance of effective communications to client's physician. There's the list of what those reimbursement rates are. And again, this is a contract renewal with a 3% increase from our 2025 contracted rates.
Wishes
Mr. Chair, I'll
of-
move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve the renewal. Is there a second?
I can second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion?
Mr.
Go
Chair?
ahead.
I'm happy to be working with Hutchinson Health on our needs in the county. I believe, it's my belief anyway, that over the last few years, Hutchinson Health has improved their services by adding staff and also with accreditation that staff members need. So I think they're building a program, and I'm happy to be partners with them on this.
Yes, we're very happy with their service.
Any more questions or? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Last item, item D, consider approving the renewal of the purchase of service agreement with Hutchinson Health out of Hutchinson, Minnesota, to approve the mental health hold orders services for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, with funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. Hutchinson Health will provide mental health order services as medically appropriate. These services may include confinement of persons, observations, psychiatric services, diagnostic and evaluation services, nursing services, family education and support services, group and individual therapy, medication administration, occupational and recreational therapy, and other treatment services specific to the patient's individual treatment plan. The mental health hold order services will be provided at a daily rate of $1,786 for the duration of the inpatient stay. This again is a 3% increase from the 2025 contracted rates.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Before we go into any further with this one, Barrett, I mean, what I question is, the day rate is a bit staggering.
It is staggering, yes.
What do they consider a day? I mean, can somebody get checked in and be in for 8 hours, 12 hours? Do you know how that could work, or how the charges would be in a situation like that?
Yes, my apologies. I don't know offhand. I do believe it says in the contract, so I can go back and look. I think it's if it's a check-in time before a certain time, that's when the day would start. So there is a number there which I can get back to you on.
That brings up a question for me. I mean, obviously, all day rates in these things everything's nuts, but what is the threshold that your staff or whoever judges that they need? I mean, obviously, you don't want to burn through this,
Yep.
my words, but
Yep.
so what's the threshold before you
Sure.
would send them there or
Sure.
their admittance?
And I should also say too, of course, this is for people who don't have insurance. If they have their insurance is billed.
Yep.
So this would be for people who, don't have insurance, don't have a means of paying that back. Maybe were admitted there against their will because it, wasn't something they wanted to necessarily do. Law enforcement, if they see a need for a mental health hold, will bring someone to Hutchinson Health. And Hutchinson Health won't keep them unless there is that need.
That was my follow-up.
Yes,
yeah.
unless they see that there is a need for that, and then they communicate with us, of course.
I mean, goes without saying, mental health is
Yes.
a really big
Yeah.
thing all over, and especially here
Yeah.
in Minnesota. And I mean, my words again, but it's a judgment call to whoever,
Yeah.
looks at them. And
This is one of those services we don't necessarily want to have or want to use, but we want to have it in our back pocket. We want to have that contract with them for this rate. If we didn't have it, it'd be, much more expensive.
is there, I guess, I mean, I don't want to ask too many questions here, but is there a mandate of some kind or another that you are mandated to provide that service? I know our jails get people in that are supposedly in need of mental health, but I mean,
Yep.
are you liable if you don't get them to the right services?
No, as far as I know, this is basically so we get a reduced rate, because
Right.
the county would be responsible for paying for this. This is one of those services that the county would need to pay for if the client or the individual is unable to pay for. So this is not meeting a statutory rate, it's helping, or a statutory requirement, it's helping us make sure that we get a reduced rate if we need to pay for the service out of county dollars.
And that's the main thing here. I
Yes.
mean, I get that part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, we're
too
meant-
much
we're-
money, but
Yeah.
it's a necessary deal. But I
Right.
just wanted to know if we have,
We're all
Yeah.
mandated reporters for any, whether it be adult protection, child protection, self-neglect, whatever that is. So, and harm due to mental health could be one of those reasons that we would have to report.
if you, with Commissioner Small's question, when you look into, what a day
Yes.
is, it'd be kind of nice to know, is that within a margin of diagnosis? I mean, do they
Sure.
then, is it one day if they're not in need? You know what I hope you know
Absolutely.
what I'm trying to say.
Yep, absolutely.
be nice to know.
I can look into that and let all of you know. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
And I'll try, one more question about this, and I'm going to ask the county attorney, I mean, if this is such a thing where law enforcement is involved and the recommendation goes to get an individual to Hutchinson Health, is there a mechanism in place in the county attorney's office or law enforcement in dealing with a particular situation like this?
I mean, yes, there's a number of, different processes that kind of overlap here, but it starts initially with either law enforcement or at times a county staff member, mental health professional determining that someone's in need of this emergency 72-hour hold. And so that happens. Once someone's in a placement, then we'll oftentimes, we'll receive information from a physician or a physician's statement. And then there's, an evaluation of what needs to happen next. There's times where the holds are able to expire and someone's able to return home after an acute condition is taken care of, or there's other supports in place. There's other times that we need to initiate like an emergency commitment of that individual so that it, triggers court involvement and the like. So there's a number of different, there's oftentimes there's maybe a law enforcement component where if someone's released from a hold, they may have, there may be charges also pending. So there's a number of different ways that this situation can move forward once someone's taken in for a potential hold. And yeah, it'd be difficult to describe the various different processes here, but when these things happen, it results in a priority response from oftentimes a number of different agencies. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but, and then, ultimately, the county does have some, in certain circumstances, some, financial responsibility to all of this, and that's what's triggered. So because that's triggered, then we look for ways like this to mitigate those costs, or at least get the best deal we can. Because even if we don't do this contract, we're still going to be responsible for certain fees associated with these types of holds or circumstances. So that financial responsibility piece doesn't go away. This just tries to kind of make the most out of our dollars.
And Mr. Chair, thanks for giving me some education on that and some background information. It looks like it's, it looks like there's a lot of moving parts to this if somebody lands on the doorstep of needing, let's say that needs a mental health hold. So I'm satisfied with the explanations, and thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you, Barrett. This really expanded over the actual service agreement, but it's kind of.
That's good.
It's
I
kinda
love the questions.
Couple different
Yep.
topics here that we could go on for a
That's
long
good.
time, but I
Yep.
appreciate your time and county attorney's explanation there. So, any more questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Did we move? Okay, is there a motion to approve this?
Mr. Chair, I'll move.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barrett.
Morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have 3 items for consideration this morning. Item A is to consider approving a request reviewed by the Budget Committee and Personnel Committee to add 1 social worker position in 2026. This position is included in the 2026 budget and was discussed at the December 16th, 2025 board workshop. This item was tabled from the December 2nd, 2025 board meeting.
It's actually been ongoing for quite a long time, and I still have my same oppositions. I don't know that I need to get so long-winded as to address them all, but with everything that's going on with fraud in the state and everything that's going on, and my first initial, when this request was first made way back last year, I was under some of the understanding that it was being funded by the state, or HHS, or the state anyway, and I understand from the last meeting and workshop it is not, and I didn't trust it. The reason I remember it so well is because I didn't trust what's going on right now with funding in the state, and And I guess in short, I have the same feelings. I just think we need to let some things shake out in the state. I mean, it's every hour almost something new is going on in the state, and with the new rules and everything, I'm not in favor of increasing more employees. And I guess I'll
Commissioner
leave it
Kruger,
at that.
do you mind if I just add a couple of
Sure.
things to your comments? So you're correct that when we first presented, when this position was initially presented to the Budget Committee this past summer, it was, as it was listed here, a developmental disability position, which is covered almost 100% by reimbursement. Because of the need of that type of case management, we had to address that. We had to shift some of our staffing around. So in the interim, before we were able to hire for this new position, we had to fill the need first. So the shift is, it's still a social worker position, it's still a grade 160, it's the same job title, but now what it's moved to is the need is adult protection services, APS. So as our director talked about in our last workshop, that specific type of case management is not covered as consistently as our developmental disabilities case management is. At the same rate, excuse me. So we have the case management that we spoke about when this was initially requested is being covered at almost 100%. But we wanted to be transparent and say we needed to fill that need immediately. Now the need, as we talked about in our workshop, it's almost quadrupled. Beyond that, from our adult protection case management needs from 2022 to 2025. So the only thing that's shifted, you're correct in saying that this type of case management isn't covered at the same rate as our developmental disability case management, but that's still being covered the same way. We're just talking about a different type of social worker that the need is now has. So nothing, we weren't being dishonest, nothing has changed from the state's reimbursement. That's all remained the same throughout this entire process. We were just being honest and stating this is where we are today, now that this has been kicked down the road a little longer than we thought.
Well, there's two requests here, and I hate to bring the next one up, but I mean,
Yep.
I've been struggling for a time trying to figure out a compromise on
I think
this, and
the other thing I'll just mention too is just to be really clear, as we talked about in the workshop, this first position is specifically addressing when we have someone call and state that there's concerns about an aging adult or an adult with disabilities who has maltreatment. It is our requirement, it's statutorily required that our staff look into that, and obviously I know the board cares about these types of cases. And so that's what this first position is doing, is it is doing what is required of us. And as we talked about in the last workshop too, we are seeing our aging population aging population is growing at a slightly higher rate than the state. So those numbers, that's why we're seeing that case increase. If it's okay, just as you're talking, Board Chair, about number two is a fraud protection position. So this is an eligibility worker whose job is to determine, alongside our attorney and his staff, if someone is eligible for services. If they are not eligible, our staff takes that extremely seriously. So the reason that we're requesting number two is because the federal government has required us to have more checks to ensure that there's not fraud, to ensure that the constituents that need these services are receiving them, and on the same hand, to ensure that those that are not meeting the criteria are not receiving those services. So item B, the eligibility worker request, is to increase our due diligence to make sure that our county dollars are being spent appropriately. So that's what these two positions are for. And if there's any other questions from the board, I'd welcome to try to answer
Well,
those.
I'll just review some of my concerns. Our population hasn't grown. I wouldn't doubt that our population may be older. But I mean, so are you telling me that we are somewhat behind in getting our cases? Are they not, do you feel that they're not being?
We'll have, Barry, do you mind joining me for a minute? So again, as I presented at the last workshop, what we showed is that in 2022, we saw and again, this is for the first item A, for the adult protection services, those calls that came in for cases that we needed to investigate. There were, I believe, 88 cases that came in that year. Is that correct?
Can I ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
for sure.
How many people did you employ in this position in 2022? And here it says you had 90, so
Two
Two.
FTE.
2 FTEs, okay.
I think you are right in that number, Hannah. I just met with our supervisor that supervises this team, Jenny, yesterday, and.
Move mic just a little bit down, I'm sorry, Barry.
Is it on? Can you,
Yeah, it's on. It
Okay,
just-
thank you. I'm not as tall as Hannah. Close, but not. We unfortunately, and I'm disappointed to say this, but we are behind in closing our adult protection cases because we have too many. So I'm gonna tell you, one of our APS investigators has 37 cases that she hasn't been able to close because she still has cases coming in.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yep.
Sorry. How many FTEs do you have in 2025?
Two.
2,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. And the other one has 43 cases that she has not been able to close. We are working feverishly to get those done, but that doesn't stop the cases coming in.
Are
That
you
have to.
talking about two different positions? Are you talking
Yep.
the one?
I'm
So they're
talking about
both
the two
behind?
current, we have two FTE that do adult protection investigation. Together, they have 80 cases that they haven't been able to close in the last
Okay.
year. So, and I don't want to confuse this even more, but to Hannah's point, when we switched from a disability caseworker to APS, what we're hoping is that we're able to hire a social worker for the need now. But as the need fluctuates within our teams, this person may go to be a developmentally disability social worker. We're gonna have them be Min Choices trained so they can do assessments, which we do get reimbursed for. So what we're trying to do is add a position to focus on what the needs are currently, knowing that we might have to switch that eventually. It's the same grade, it would be the same position description, their responsibilities and duties might change a little bit.
Mr. Chair, I have a question for Barrett. I just thought of this, so I'm sorry I hadn't thought of it sooner. But I'm recalling when we, TriStar, the assertive community
Yep,
treatment
yep,
for adult, that
Yep.
handled a lot of adult protection and like the
Yep.
assessments, correct? When that closed down or changed so
Yep.
much, maybe we expected to have some of this shift eventually too, because like Commissioner Kruger's talking about, our population may not have changed, but maybe some of the stress on the county services would increase naturally after
Yeah.
we didn't have that, because that's when we were in Cosmos, and if you remember that McLeod County was a part of that,
Yeah.
there was staff there.
yep.
And
That was
that's-
before my time, but I think you're right, Sheila. I think that did shift, I mean, that work and responsibilities had to go somewhere. And so some of it has, I'm sure, come back on us. And yeah, our population hasn't changed, Commissioner Kruger, but our population is definitely getting older. We have a lot of, and we get, if there is a person in a nursing home, an assisted living, a day home, any of those types of things that self-neglect, financial fraud is witnessed, those all come to us. And we have a number of those providers. So not just clients living out in the community, it's people living in those types of facilities where the reports come to us as well.
Do some of your employees, do you cross-train some? I mean, are some of these people, I mean, if,
Most are.
for instance, I have no doubt, I am an aging senior citizen, so I kind of get that. But, and I do, you know, I have a lot of friends and constituents that are getting older.
Yep.
However, does that relieve? Our population isn't growing. So is some of your other departments, are they strained, or are they have, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
an operational question that, are they able to,
Yeah.
I mean, does this work back and forth?
Even though our population hasn't necessarily changed, the needs of our community have changed. We still see a number of child protection investigations, obviously adult protection. We have a number of people living in our communities that are developmentally disabled that get our services. So we do cross-train, we do shift where the needs are, and that's why we're asking for this position now, because this is where our need is.
So I'm gonna be blunt and just ask the question straight away. If you had to choose between one of these two positions, which one's the most important? I mean, I have to look, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a commissioner, trying to watch the levies, watch the budgets, watch it all. I mean, I've been searching for a compromise, and I'm not speaking for the other three members of the board, I'm speaking for myself. But, I mean, I mean, we take these one at a time, and
Yeah.
I don't disagree with some of what you're saying, however,
Yep.
I still don't trust the state. I'm honest, I just don't. I mean, some of these things, some of these programs may disappear, and we may need more help, or we may
So-
need less. I don't know if I knew
Yeah.
that, I wouldn't be here.
So just to allude to the programs that these two positions work in, there has not been fraud concerns that we have seen. So I want to make that clear, that these positions aren't areas of fraud suspicion at the state level.
And, sorry, but, Mr. Chair, I just have one question, and I know you and I spoke a little bit about this yesterday, so I just want to ask. I'd be hesitant to say which of these positions is more important, maybe, because it's facing these, versus this position versus the other one. What about all of the other positions, because they may have a similar importance, I don't know that, so it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yep.
a risky
Yep.
thing to say, well, this one's more important than that one, because that may,
Yeah, that.
I
it's
would just
yeah.
hesitate to
And
provide
that's why I
that
really
without
didn't
knowing
want to
and
ask the
looking at it.
question, but I wanted to, for a number
Yep.
of reasons. I
Yep.
mean, the new Family Leave Act is gonna cause some, I mean, so it's a good question if we help I mean, that's the only way we're gonna get through this, is to help each other out, so that's the reason.
Yeah,
I
and-
ask, I don't want you to pick winners, there's no way to pick
No,
winners
there's
and
no,
lose.
yep, there's not gonna be any winners. Both teams are gonna be affected by the Family Leave Act, so
Yes, I
that's,
realize that.
currently.
Well,
I mean, one
everybody.
team already is, another one probably. Both jobs, even though I have one budget, each of these positions comes out of a different area. One comes out of the social services, family, one comes out of the, income maintenance. So that's different areas. I'm gonna say that the need right now is probably for the eligibility worker, unfortunately.
And again, I mean nothing by it, I don't want
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
want your staff to think, oh, I'm picking this one over that, I'm just looking for,
Both are very important. Both are in the budget and the approved budget.
no, and I realize
Yeah.
that, but I mean, I'm on the budget committee, so we set the budgets and make do, that's where I come back to the levy.
Yep.
I don't think I really need to say that, but that's the way it works, but,
Mr. Chair,
go ahead, Lauren.
I apologize for my ignorance on this, but I don't understand that if it's been budgeted for, why we're not approving it.
Well, because I don't know what's gonna happen with the overall picture of a budget's a trick thing, in my opinion. I mean, you need the money to operate, but it's still up to, the budget committee sets the budget, it's still up to us, the board, to approve this expenditures. And if I'm wrong, somebody has to tell me, but there's only two of us on a budget committee, and we still, the board itself is the one that approves the spending.
I would say too, Commissioner Chachka, that anytime we do have an addition, even if it's been budgeted, we do bring it before the board, as, for transparency's sake, to ensure that we're being open, obviously, about if there's a staffing addition. So that is our commitment, is that we would bring it through the process, which it's been through, and then to bring it to the board, so.
And I don't want to get too far in the weeds, Commissioner, but it's not just for today's budget. I mean, with everything going on, and it came back to that funding question that I had asked for before. Initially, there was some funding in there. She explained it. I think I understand it, at least the best of what I can. But I mean, so that would have affected the budget too, if it was, one was funded, one was partially funded.
Both are somewhat funded because we are 100% time reporting. So we report our time, that gets a brass code, we get reimbursed from the state of Minnesota. Neither one, the eligibility one more likely, but neither one is fully ever covered by that
sure.
reimbursement that we get. It helps, for sure, absolutely, because we're doing the job that the state has given us to do. It's a state program, county
And
operated.
again, even though there may not be fraud in that department, I'm not worried about fraud in our departments. I hope our employees are asking all the right questions, and if, I mean, it's a double-edged sword for me. You can't evaluate if you don't have evaluators. I mean, so how,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yep. So with,
But however, I mean, that doesn't mean that the state couldn't cut the funding into, you know, if they're running out of money, they can shift at the state level. That leaves us, I don't wanna say high and dry,
they
but
could do
leaves,
that with any program, but
Right.
there is, with our eligibility workers and that financial assistance team, we do work with fraud investigators. And our staff are referring cases and clients to our fraud investigator to look into those situations. So there is a system of checks and balances. We get audited. We are looked at as far as our reports and our numbers and the things that we are doing.
And now we're having to do that process twice.
Yep.
Again, I know we've talked about that many times, so I'm sorry if it sounds redundant, but we now are, the requirement for Barrett's team is that those folks are going through every case 2 times a year versus what had been 1 time a year.
I don't wanna drag this out. I mean, I don't wanna be the only one commenting. I personally, I could make, my compromise would be to hire one at this time. That would be my compromise. The board, I mean, there's two different action items here, so I don't wanna get ahead of myself. And, again, I've given this a lot of talk, and I talked with our administrator. I talked about, I did some checking into what some other counties do. They've hired a temporary for a year. And, our administrator kinda gave me the pros and, or mostly the cons to that is to getting a good qualified worker if you
Absolutely.
don't hire full-time. So
Yep.
I get that. So it's just, I don't wanna be branded with being mean, but I just have to be, that's my opinion. That's what I would say. I'm gonna ask the rest, wishes of the board, but I mean, because of the way these action items are positioned, you know, I would like to look at as, at least to start with, as a package. Any other comments from the board?
I have a couple questions, Mr. Chair. In these 2 different departments, do you have any projected retirements coming in them?
I would assume, knowing the length of service and the age of some of our employees, that is definitely going to
Yes.
happen this year. I would
Yep.
say I won't be surprised if there's at least 3 to 4, and that's just a
Within
modest
the whole
estimate.
entire department?
Yeah.
Yeah. Within these 2 units, I could see maybe 2 potentially. And every time someone leaves, we reevaluate that position. We really do. We look, do we need it? Do we need it now? Can we wait? Does it need to be full-time? Can it be part-time? Can we hold off for a little bit and just see? And we do that often, just to hold it open and kind of see how things shake out to determine the need.
Okay, so when we first saw this, I had asked to table it, so we had an opportunity to go into a workshop on it and ask some more questions. And later today, on a workshop agenda, I asked to have a discussion on being able to meet more frequently, just focusing on the HHS department. That's what we used to do years ago. We drifted away from it, and I think a lot of our questions today could have been answered had we been doing this the way we used to. And, you know, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly, been carried kind of along with the changes. And it seems like we could have possibly cleared up some of the setbacks, I guess, that have happened along the way. Always appreciate Commissioner Kruger's ability to zero down on things and look for the details. That's for sure. There's a reason why we're the lowest levy increase in the state of Minnesota. It's because not everything passes. Here, we tend to do a lot of yeses, but there's a whole lot of no's that happen in committees before it ever gets that far. So anybody watching the board meeting, yes, a lot of things get approved here, but that's just the few that got through. That's what it comes down to. In our last workshop, the comments that were takeaway for me, and you brought up a couple of them again, increase in caseload, yes, not by population numbers, but by the needs of the public that are out there, whether we're talking about those with aging or those with disabilities. And I can see that change. There's also comments about dealing with a very antiquated and train wreck of a software system that the state gives us, and that's on them, that they need to fix that. If they're gonna require these activities, then it is on them to fix that and make that easier, because it is consuming our time to do their requirements. And now that they're also asking for more reviews, just makes the system compounded and worse. It's a form of a unfunded mandate, I guess you could put it on that side, and we have to deal with it. We're here to generate a service and here to make it accurate, and if we're one of the first lines of defense on fraud, then we have to have the time in order to do a good detailed work analysis of that. There's both reasons, or there's reasons on both sides for and against here, but at this point, and I asked a question about retirements because I know that these positions take months in training in order to do them well. And every time we're training, that means that there's another person in the department that has to train them. So you're consuming two individuals' time. That is not necessarily getting the work done as fast as they should be either. As we go through these, I will nod in favor of the positions because of those reasons. However, I think that going back to Doug's approach, I think there's only one way that we can maintain our costs, and that's to really ask a lot of questions. But I get it that we have software issues with the state, and I hope we can send that message up there. Granted, it would take them years to agree how to fix it, I'm assuming. But if we're getting stuck with a black and white TV, we need to fix that, right? And that is, again, that's on them. So my point in the discussion is that I can appreciate all this. I think that there's another way to deal with all these questions and answers, and we'll get to that in our workshop. But I can go along with these. I think I've seen the reasons for that.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the board?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Nathan.
I will move request and wait for discussion period if there's a second.
Which are you moving? There's two actually action items. Which one are you moving?
First item, please.
Okay, motion has been made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve social worker development disabilities. That's the way it's written here. So is there a second?
I can second that.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Small, seconded by Commissioner Wright. Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chair, if I can comment, please. I appreciate the chair's concerns. None of us want to make government bigger than it is, but at the same time, we are asked to fulfill requirements to make this all work. The reason I can support the motion is I think we've probably spent, maybe I'm guessing on it, but 6 months or more discussing these positions. They were recommended to be approved through the Budget Committee and the Personnel Committee. So I trust those committees and their recommendations, and I trust our staff as well. And that's why I think I can support the motion and the request as presented on this item. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just a clarification, Commissioner, they were not approved. They were brought forward. That's a question I've had on a lot of different things. When I'm on personnel and on budgets now, they were brought forward, but not approved.
Yeah, and we've intentionally, as you'll notice, in all of our recommendations we bring, we do use the word reviewed. So these have been reviewed by both the budget committee and the personnel committee, and then again brought to the workshop.
And it's no more than fair. I mean, we're talking about one specific thing here, but it's not fair for anybody on these committees. I mean, if you see a point in whatever is being brought forward, you can't stifle it. I mean, you need to bring it to the whole board. We're only individuals trying to do the best we can. So that's, I just wanted to just clarify that.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I appreciate that clarification. I didn't realize that. I thank you for bringing the tough questions to the table as well. You know, it always helps to have somebody on that other side, what about this, what about that? My point of view on this is I look at what the employees are going through as far as workload and now new, mandates coming down for the every 6-month review, and that's kind of where I'm siding with. With the budget question, that was kind of it was approved by the budget committee, it was approved by the personnel committee. That was my misunderstanding, so I thank you for clarifying that.
All right, thank you. My last part of this is SSTS, SSIS, whatever it's called, is antiquated. Sometimes I think by design, not here, but in the state. It's horrible. I have reasons, I hadn't brought this, the Family Leave Act, which I don't even like, it's just starting. And obviously, 2 new employees, if you were to get both, would help relieve that. But I think the people that need it, I would hope that data is collected if the shortage runs into being Family Leave Act. People have to realize that stuff like that, it may be good, but it's gonna cost money. And I just think that has to be recognized. It just can't, if we'd approved these 6 months ago, would you be here? Will the time come this year to ask for more help because of people on family leave? That could happen. It may
Could
not,
happen.
but it could happen.
Could happen.
And those are all my concerns. I'm a nerd when it comes to watching what's going on, and it scares the bejeebers out of me to see what we could end up with. But I guess that's all I have to say. Is there any more discussion? Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, if I may, and I want to wrap this up as well. Thanks for pointing out that to me about the language that's before us here as far as whether it was recommended or not recommended. I apologize if I misled anybody in the statements I made, but at the same time, I will say that I think the addition has been vetted at committee level and budget level, and I'll still be in favor of the motion as stated, and I apologize for misquoting.
No apology needed. I used to kind of think it's easy when it's slam dunk stuff, but it's not fair for an individual to stop anything coming forward. But, so if it has merit to come forward, then it should. If not, that's a whole different case. All right, if there's no more discussion, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor of the social work development disabilities position, in other words, A, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Roll call. I'm no.
Yes.
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes.
All right. Passes 3-1.
Thank you. Item B is consider approving a request reviewed by the Budget Committee and Personnel Committee to add 1 eligibility worker position. Again, this was included in the 26 budget, discussed on December 16th at the board workshop, and this item was tabled from the December 2nd, 2025 board meeting.
Okay, without, I mean, we crossed them over in discussion, so I'm just gonna, I have nothing to say that I haven't already said, so at the board's wishes.
I'll move to approve the addition of an eligibility worker.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Schatska. Is there a second?
Second,
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion?
just carry my discussion through that I've already stated before.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
My position is much as it was in the previous motion, so
Okay.
thank you.
Hearing no more discussion, I'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Roll call. I'm no.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
3-1. Passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Just have one more item for you, and this goes along with some of the things we've commented on. This is an annual authorization. Consider adopting Resolution 26CB02, authorizing Human Resources to fill replacement positions upon approval from the Personnel Committee. So just to clarify, this would be a situation where someone were to retire, resign, terminate, and we would, like as Director Spores just talked about, we bring any of those already approved positions to the Personnel Committee, share, the need for the role, and we go through a simple approval process. And that's what this resolution is allowing us to do, would be allowing us to do in 2026, if supported.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, sorry. I just want to know, I believe we do this now annually for statutory requirement, to
Exactly.
meet statute so that we can conduct business throughout the year. You used to have to wait up to a month because we had the different committees that everything would have to go through and then to get to the board meeting. And it really slowed down the recruitment process. So that's the purpose behind it. We changed it around 2018, I believe. Thank you.
Right. It's worked. I'm on it and I've been at, I mean, it does come by us, so, if there's, I would hope that any position that was gonna be reduced by a retirement or something like that has all been done ahead of time, and if we're notified as far as the Personnel Committee of what the circumstances are, and it saves a lot of time. I mean, otherwise, if you're on the wrong end of the meeting schedule, you could end up a month behind, so I'm all right with it myself.
Mr. Chair, I'll move Resolution 26-CB-02.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve 26CB2. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Any clarifications on how it works? It's been working. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Auditor Connie, good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have 3 items for you today. Consider adopting Resolution 26CB10 to establish and appoint an absentee mail ballot and Uokava ballot board for all elections held in 2026 and 2027. Minnesota Statutes 203B.121 governs the ballot boards and review of absentee ballots in Minnesota elections, provides the appointment process, establishes who may serve on the ballot board, and provides the duties of the ballot board members. Minnesota Statutes 204B.19 to 204.22 governs the sufficient number of election judges, appointments, qualifications, and party balance requirements. Ballot board duties begin after 46 days before each election and do end on Election Day. McLeod County Ballot Board processes ballots each day to retain efficient practices in processing absentee ballots and to provide transparency with public perception. The McLeod County Auditor Treasurer recommends the approval of a combination of deputy auditors, election personnel staff, and others trained as election judges. All election judges working on ballot board receive additional training to serve on the ballot board.
This is, I mean, it's kind of, I always wonder, I mean, it's mandated that we have to do this by the statutes that you read off. Now, this year with some of the new regulations, and I hate to bring up Family Leave Act again, But if you have these people, do you have enough extras so you don't run short during the election season? You know what I mean? You don't have to do some more, do you interview or have enough on standby, lack of a better word, to fill these?
We do have enough considered within our budget, and so I guess if someone leaves, we'll have to cross that bridge when that time comes.
Okay.
No, this is really,
Wishes of the board?
yeah, compliance with state statutes, so move to approve.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more questions or? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item B, to consider approving the appointment of 2 county commissioners to serve as members of the County Canvas Board. McLeod County Canvas Board will meet at this McLeod County Government Center on the dates and times as listed for the special election of County Commissioner District 5 on Wednesday, April 15th at 3 p.m., the primary election on Friday, August 14th at 9:30 a.m., and meet for the general election Tuesday, November 10th at 9:30 a.m. Unqualified districts for the appointment would be Commissioner 2 and Commissioner 5, as they will be on the 2026 ballot. The other commissioner districts of 1, 3, and 4 would qualify, and I believe in our past rotation of these 3 districts, we did have Commissioner District 1 and 3. So you may work out between the 3 of you which 2.
I have served on the canvassing board. I mean, it's double checking numbers. However, can you just refresh me how the actual canvas board, I mean, the total makeup of the canvas board, is that dictated from the Secretary of State, or how is the canvas board actually formed?
It is dictated by statute. I apologize, I don't have that here, and I don't know the number off of my head,
But it is.
It is
I
two-
mean, the people, it's mayor, when I was served, it was mayors, county commissioners, court.
Court
individuals. But I
administration.
mean, are these outlined in, because I've had some questions, and they are outlined in who you can choose on that canvassing.
yes, they
board.
are dictated in statute.
Okay.
So I don't mention those others as they are dictated.
Okay, no, I just wanted to have that as a clarification, but it might be nice somewhere to have it if somebody wants to look it up on how they're chosen. My personal feeling is the ones that I served with in the number of years I did it were, above reproach. My words again, but
Thank you. We'll
Mr. Chair?
make sure that's on our.
go ahead.
Just for reference, there's a statute that governs the membership, and it's 204C.31, so that's 204C.31. Subdivision 1 specifically addresses the county canvassing boards, then there's subdivision 2 for the state board, and then subdivision 3 discusses the duties. So that's where you'd look, and it prescribes the membership, the necessary makeup.
Sure, and then through the board, there's checks and balances. I mean, there you have, I don't want to say it's boring, that's not the right word, but I mean, it's going through numbers to make sure they are right. And if something doesn't fall right, there's checks and balances to see why.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I will volunteer myself to serve.
Same here. If 1 and 3 of the districts that are up, we might as well stay with that rotation then, so.
Okay.
I'll make a motion then to appoint Commissioner Wright and Commissioner Schmalz. Commissioner Chaska, I know I jumped ahead of your finger there, but.
It's okay. I just needed to make sure that there wouldn't be an issue if I did this and the city.
The only issue would be if you scheduled your canvas board at the same time as the county canvas board.
Oh, and we always need to wait for you guys to do that, don't we? Okay. All right. Nope, that's fine. But thank you
And
guys
you're
for jumping in.
okay with that? Any discussion? Or is there a second?
There was. I
Mr.
think we
Chair.
have first and second.
You
I'm
first,
There wasn't a
sorry.
second yet.
There wasn't.
I'll second that.
Check, seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Now, any discussion on that?
Mr. Chair, I just have one question for Commissioner Trechka. Can she schedule hers the same day?
The same day.
As long as it's after the
Correct.
county one? Okay, thank you.
But now there won't be a conflict because she's not on the canvassing board. I mean, that clears, unless you bring her in as a city, no, I'm kidding. But, shouldn't do that when the board's run, but, at any rate, is there any more discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Third item, I have item C, to consider approving a public hearing on January 30th, 2026 at 9:00 a.m. for County Ditch 18. Pursuant to Minnesota statutes 103E.715, the Board of Commissioners, sitting as the drainage authority for County Ditch 18, must meet for the consideration of easement acquisition and compensation for CD 18.
Is there gonna be notices sent out for this? I mean, everything is,
After it's approved,
right.
yes.
And these, well, anybody on 18 should know, but these easements are because of changing the route of the ditch. It's not for any other reasons, but
Correct.
So moved.
motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Public
you.
Works. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item A, consider approving an agreement between McLeod County and Apex Engineering Group to perform an intersection control evaluation, or an ICE, of the Airport Road and School Road intersection near Hutchinson, as well as a mini corridor study analysis of School Road from the intersection at Airport Road to the intersection at South Grade Road at a cost of $29,833 with funds from the highway construction budget. We've seen a large increase in crashes at that intersection over the last few years, and especially this fall. We had a rash of them. What this intersection control evaluation will do is it'll look at all the crash data, look at the current configuration of the intersection, and then come up with a recommendation for the best possible intersection treatment there. The corridor study is also a little bit of an extension with the City of Hutchinson's corridor study of School Road, which goes from Roberts Road to South Grade Road. This extends it out to Airport Road, and will make sure that any intersection control changes out at Airport Road will kind of correlate and won't fight with any possible changes of School Road within the City of Hutchinson.
What's ICE stand for again?
Intersection control evaluation.
We do have, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We do have an upcoming meeting with several miles of the corridor going all four directions from this intersection, meeting with the residents that drive through there a lot, and they're the ones that have asked, mentioned their concerns on the safety at that intersection, and the point of our upcoming meeting is just to gather some of their public input for those that live right there. This is a step in evaluating, solutions that just needs to be done to gather the data for that. So, move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Again, I understand the need. I'm always a little set back by what it costs. Is this strictly a county cost, or is the city gonna?
This is strictly county cost.
Okay.
Yep, the city's corridor study is a whole separate agreement with the city.
And they're-
Between Apex Engineering
Will
and the
they
city.
they'll be looking at both studies?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just, we'll need data like this collected in the event that we can apply for any of the safety grants.
Oh, I realize. So it raised, so you have data to rise to a grant or whatever.
Correct.
No, I get it. I'm an old guy, I get sticker shock when I see money. But at any rate, is there any more questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, consider adopting Resolution 26CB11 and authorizing the county engineer to sign an agreement between McLeod County and the Minnesota Department of Transportation for advanced construction of State Project 043618008, the County State Aid Highway 18 Concrete Overlay Project. The federal funds for this project are split between state fiscal years 2026 and 2027. This agreement allows McLeod County to bid the project prior to the beginning of state fiscal year 2027, which actually begins July 1st of 2026. The county will have to wait until July 1st of 2026 to receive the federal funds, which will really coincide with when we expect construction expenses to start coming in.
Okay, looks like this one's in my area, so I'll move to approve.
And second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item C, consider approving the estimate for purchase of disc golf signage from Cruise Altitude LLC of Hutchinson, Minnesota at a cost of $2,540.46 with funds from designated for capital assets. As outlined in the Parks Plan, a disc golf course was identified as a priority at Lake Marion Park. To date, the course has been designed and cleared, benches have been purchased, and installation of baskets and tee pads have been completed. A second estimate was received from a Dynamic Discs of Emporia, Kansas at a cost of $3,680 plus tax.
Wishes of the board, we have been, we were aware of this from a workshop. Is there wishes of the board?
I'll move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Item D, consider approving the 3-year contract extension with Perfect Mind, Inc. for reservation software services at a total cost of $24,297.24 with funds from the fairgrounds and parks budgets. The current 5-year contract expires on January 18th, 2026.
Wishes of the board?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
question, John, did you go out for RFPs on this?
No, we've been overall satisfied with the services that they've been providing to us thus far. Instead of doing a 5-year, we did want to do a 3-year just to shorten it up in case there is something. We did look at other options out there, and unfortunately, there's nothing all-in-one that's able to provide the flexibility with the fairground scheduling as well as the campgrounds. So we did look at some separate campground-only software, but the cost for having to do both just wasn't feasible. So we've decided to stick with this one.
Thank you, John. Move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second?
Could second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. I do remember early on, I'm not gonna claim to be up to speed totally on this. I know you really don't have to go out for an RFP. But, I remember early on when we started this, it was kind of a mess. It took us a while to get to one that worked pretty well, and I will concur from all of my knowledge that it's been working well, so I do understand that. So just for Commissioner Schmaltz, just so you're aware, what I know of it, it's working well.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just want to make a comment on that. As our parks and our fairgrounds just continue to be busier all the time, the importance of having a good software package to keep track of that is a must. I was in there last night to the fairgrounds. I think during the time I was there was 4 different events going on throughout the different buildings, and it takes good tracking software to manage all that. So
It does, and it does, a lot of people won't look twice. If it's messed up the first time, it's hard to get them back, but, so I agree. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Item E, consider approving the estimate from Century Fence Company of Forest Lake, Minnesota for replacement of the east gate at the fairgrounds at a cost of $6,555 with funds from the fairgrounds budget. On Monday, December 8th, a staff member noticed that the east gate at the fairgrounds had been damaged. It is unknown when the damage took place. Payment from Minnesota Counties and Intergovernmental Trust has been received, less the $1,000 deductible.
I only know about this from emails and stuff. What actually happened to damage it? And I guess my bigger question is, when we repair it, is there something we can do so that doesn't happen again, or was it just vandalism, or?
It appears as though a vehicle just ran into the gate, so I'm not sure if they were heading west on that road and slid through, you know, trying to stop and ran into the gate. But, I mean, it was bent in 2 different places, and it's on, you know, rollers, and so
Sure.
those were damaged. So they did come out to see if it could just be repaired. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So, I mean, we do have it locked with a chain and, you know, locking
Sure.
mechanism on there, and that was completely busted off too. So they were definitely coming through at a high rate of speed. We did reach out to Walmart to see they have security cameras off the back of their building there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to, their cameras aren't at that angle where we could see what happened.
So you don't really think it was vandal, it was just?
I don't believe
Okay,
so,
I'm-
no.
I'm fine with that, I just didn't know any more about it, so.
Mr.
Which-
Chair, we did talk about this at our Fair Commission meeting last time we met. That was right before that, and at this point, what do? We have to fix it in order to use the gate. So I'll
Sure,
make a
no.
motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to repair the east gate at the fairgrounds. Is there a second?
I can second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any more questions or discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just, you know, to kind of see if we can do a better job, is some reflective tape an option that will actually make a higher visibility of this gate to try to avoid another situation?
Sure, yeah, we can definitely do that. We currently have an entrance close sign that is reflective on it that does face out, but yeah, a little more to identify it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, and I will add, this happened during an ice event that was that weekend, so I'm guessing somebody just slid through the
Sure.
intersection and slid up there.
Yeah, those inserts are reflective. You can,
Yep.
I guess they're not real cheap, but they slide in there and they are reflective, so whatever, I'll lead you to your discretion on how to handle that, but.
Okay.
Any more discussion from the board? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
County administration calendars. Since our last meeting, I have had an HRA board meeting, again discussing availability of housing and, you know, the costs of trying to get more housing. And there's some regulations from HUD that are becoming more restrictive, and funding is drying up on some of that, and so we're discussing that right now. Our HRA is good. We're doing well, knock on wood. I had a drainage work group that concluded for this year. I guess, again, like it was last year, we're ending our year in a deadlock. We're discontinuing in meetings for right now because we don't have a consensus to recommend to the legislature. And yesterday I attended the SWCD board meeting. They discussed their funding. The big thing right now is for them is finding or discussing the programs to go out to the farmers for cover. And I guess it's probably really important, and make sure the funding is there for fall cover. That brings us to today.
Okay. Since the last time we met, I think my committee appointments have been quite light on meeting towards the end of the year. I think everything was covered ahead of that, which is a good thing. Did have several drop-in, drop-in meetings with just discussions, kind of summarizing 25 or getting ready for 26, departments of extension, some things on drainage, some roadway concerns, fairgrounds, as well as some topics with county administration. So that was pretty much fills in my calendar.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. My calendar shows that on December 16th, after our county board meeting, we held a workshop here at the Government Center, and then that was followed by a union negotiations committee meeting that afternoon at 1 o'clock. And then on December 18th, Thursday, I attended the department head meeting that was held at Century Hall at the fairgrounds. We We had some discussion with department heads. The weather was not cooperative that day, so I will say that we probably cut the meeting a little shorter than it could have been, just because of getting people back home again on account of bad weather. And then, as Commissioner Wright stated, luckily my couple weeks have been a little bit light, but as we turned into the new year, I rolled right into the LAC Mental Health Local Advisory Committee meeting that was held at the solid waste facility in Hutchinson. This group meets select times through the year, not monthly. We get reports from our healthcare providers. Like I referenced earlier in our board meeting today, Hutchinson Health is represented there and gives us a report regarding mental health and the availability of services to our county and communities. So I was happy to attend that meeting. And then Monday the 5th, yesterday, I just fielded a phone call about some tree removals that need to be done on County Ditch 11. County Ditch 11 is a county ditch that runs in the northern part of McLeod County in the Winston area. That brings me to today. Thank you.
As previously stated by most, it was a pretty uneventful last couple of weeks. After the workshop, on the 17th, I had a planning meeting, which we went over what we had discussed on that day. We had that this morning. The 18th, I also attended the department head meeting, which was cut short, which was kind of sad because it was good to see all of the department, or most of the department heads. And then I just want to say thank you to the commissioners, the rest of the staff for putting up with me for this first year. I feel it's been going okay. Everybody asks how it's going, and I'm enjoying myself, learning lots, and again, I thank you for that.
Anything from the attorney's office? Thank you, Ryan. Sheila?
Thank you. Stefan will come up and go over the 2026 meeting date proposal.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Just asking, consider approving the proposed 2026 County Board meeting dates, including the evening meetings for the Board of Appeal and Equalization and the Truth in Taxation meeting for the ordinary business of the County Board during regular County Board meetings and the ordinary business coming before the County Board as the Drainage Authority. Included in the agenda there, we have the dates, the proposed dates for 2026. These all match up with our first and third Tuesdays of each month. No conflicts with holidays or anything like that.
Looking for approval.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting calendar.
I'll second it. I mean, something can always come up, so their dates, they are what they are, so,
I do have one question.
go ahead.
I was actually just looking at something here, and it says our meetings are the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month. Is that correct? The first and third, I just saw it in something.
I don't know how to put it in words. We changed it a couple of years back. We went, because we did,
Okay,
I don't know what the right verbiage is. We
Yeah.
only have 2 meetings a month now unless.
If you do see, let us know where you saw that. We'll make sure it's updated. Sometimes Googling will bring you just some old documents, so I don't know if maybe you saw it in a
no,
search.
I've just looked at it this morning, because I'm like,
Yeah, if you
oh,
could send
that's-
that to us, we'll
I'll
update it.
look-
That's not accurate any longer.
Okay, because I was looking at this and it says September 1st, so that would then mean we
Yeah.
couldn't have, okay, I'll look for that and
Thank you very much,
mean, there's-
Mr. Jessica.
There's reasons why we have to have meetings as far as paying bills, so.
No, it just said you had to wait until the first Tuesday after the first Monday, and September 1st would not allow us to do that, so I will look for that.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yep.
Item B, consider adopting Resolution 26-CB-03, awarding official McLeod County newspaper for 2026. Bids were received from the McLeod County Chronicle, Herald Journal, and Hutchinson Station. The McLeod County Chronicle is the lowest bid and the recommended choice.
Wishes of the board, my comments are, I get the paper, but nobody's picking up the paper anymore, so I mean, this is something we have to do. My emphasis to make sure that our website stays current, and, you know, it's been improving all along, and I enjoy that. The more they use it, the more easier it is to get through, but.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I just will note, and I'm sure the whole board knows, but for the public, that we have statutory requirements for posting certain items, so, and that's why we have to go through an official newspaper process, of course, too. So
No,
this is per requirement. No, I know you know that. I just want it for the public.
Well, what I'm saying is the legislature, this is mandated, and the legislature is looking to where a website would qualify for this, but they haven't acted on that to this time, so we have to do that. We have to do that with the posting
Mr. Chair,
here at the courthouse. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I will move Resolution 26-CB-03.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Schmaltz to approve 26 CB3. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, consider adopting Resolution 26-CB-04, awarding second publication of 2025 McLeod County Financial Statement. Only one bid was received, and that was from the Herald Journal.
I'll move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheska to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmaltz. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, consider adopting Resolution 26-CB-05, County Commissioner Committee Appointments.
Are we acting on the information we already have?
The information that's listed in your packet, Mr. Chair.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, board's wishes. Is there any need for changes?
Mr. Chair, if any board member wants, it is on page 304 is where the committee appointment list starts. If you want to pull it up on your packet before acting, you're welcome to do so. Page 304 in the packet.
Mr. Chair, I think we covered this the last time we sat down with the realization that we might have to look at this halfway through the year and do some changes, so I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve the committee appointments and doing to addition being, we had to rearrange ours because of the resignation of a board member. If there's any big conflicts or changes that need to be made, we'll look at them through the year. Does that sound right? With that, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, consider adopting Resolution 26-CB-06, County Staff Committee Appointments, and that listing starts on page 309 of the packet.
Wishes of the board or any questions?
Make motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cheska. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. Item E, consider adopting, item F, consider adopting Resolution 26-CB-07, Citizen Committee Appointments, with those listings beginning on page 312.
Any questions on that? On the committee appointments, we've also discussed them in workshops, and we do make appointments as they come due during the year, but
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I will move Resolution 26 CB-07, Citizen Committee Appointments.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve city committee appointments. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
If you read closely, I made an appointment in Planning and Zoning from District 1. That's a change, and I want to take this time to congratulate Dave Herneman on his service to that position, I believe, for 9 years. He was much appreciated on Planning and Zoning, and I wish the best for the new candidate as well. Dan Lundin has submitted his approval of him being appointed to serve from District 1. So I just wanted to highlight that before we take the vote and thank Dave Herneman for his service to McLeod County.
Thanks for the information, Commissioner Smalls. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item G, consider adopting resolution 26-CB-08, appointing Ryan Freitag, McLeod County Soil and Water Conservation District Director as McLeod County Drainage Inspector. This is an annual requirement, so this appoints Mr. Freitag from January 1 of this year through December 31 of this year.
And as everyone knows, we're on a joint powers with SWCD. That's how we get into this. So I guess I will make a motion to, for resolution 26 CB-08, appointing Ryan Freitag to McLeod County Soil and Water District Drainage Inspector. Is there a second?
Can second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item H, consider adopting resolution 26-CB-09, appointing Ryan Freitag, McLeod County SWCD Director as McLeod County Agricultural Inspector, and Adam Lesky, McLeod County SWCD Ditch and Drainage Inspector as McLeod County Assistant Agricultural Inspector. And again, that's an annual appointment.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'll move Resolution 26 CB-09.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls and seconded by Commissioner Chaska to appoint Ryan Freitag and Adam Lesky as Drainage Inspector and Agriculture Inspector. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. I just want to note that in item G, I said it's January 1 through December 31st, 2026. It's actually today's date, January 6th through December 31st, 2026. Thank you. Item I, consider approving delegation of authority to the Finance Director for electronic fund transfers from January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026. I would also recommend that we adjust these dates in the future for the meeting dates since we set them before this item. So is there an adjustment needed looking at the meeting dates for next year?
I see
I would
they're
set
always
this
posted
through-
as
yeah.
fiscal dates. and
I
we
would
should-
set that through January 5th, instead of December 31st, 2026, to assure that we don't have a gap in any coverage because we do need to conduct business. Is that, Ryan, is that acceptable? County Attorney, sorry. I would ask that we set those dates to go through the first meeting date of the following year, since we set that before we appoint.
We post on
So-
we post them as fiscal dates, and technically we have to act on them today, which is,
But-
not the same
yeah.
date, so.
It only shows the actual dates, so it doesn't list fiscal dates. So I would ask that we set that from January 1, 2026 through January 5th, 2027, please. For item I. The other ones are fine.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve with the changes on the finishing date.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve the finance director for electronic fund transfer with correction on the dates. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. The next item, item J, is recognition from Minnesota County's Intergovernmental Trust for outstanding loss ratio under 50% and outstanding experience in workers' compensation. With our experience modification being under 1.0, that is very good. We received both awards of excellence this past year from MCIT, our insurance cooperative, so that is a great recognition that we wanted to share with you. Thank you.
No action needed, but
No.
let's keep it up.
Thank you. And a good job to Stefan Wiblemo, who has been handling safety over the past year and brought us these awards, so thank you. You should frame those. So good to have around. Item K, notification of annual list of depositories for McLeod County 2026. That is included in your county board packet. Item L, notification of an electronic transfer of funds in the amount of $3 million from the Minnesota Association of Governments Investing for Counties account to Security Bank checking account made on December 18, 2025 for bill payments. Item N, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, January 20, 2026, here at the McLeod County Government Center at 520 Chandler Avenue, North Glencoe, Minnesota. And item N, McLeod County newsletter correction. There was some election information that was, it was carried over wrong in the newsletter. It's been updated electronically. And then anyone who receives a paper copy of the newsletter will receive a correction notice mailed to them. And that's just also a reminder that we encourage you to sign up for our county newsletter. You can go right to our website or give us a call and let us know if you're interested, and we'll either email it to you or print it for you and send it to you. Or if you know somebody, maybe a neighbor who you think would be interested in the information, and encourage them to do the same. And thank you to Stefan and all of the staff for participating in our newsletter and doing a nice job. The new one just came out, so please check that out, and the updated election information. Thank you.
Okay, just a quick comment, because we touched on it here just a little bit on some information. I've been, in the last 2 days, I've been getting a ton of messages, emails on IRS stuff, and it all seems to be hinging around county information. I even got a call from the state on, or they supposedly are the state, but if you look real close, they're a subsidiary or some group, and I didn't forward any on. I deleted them, and I tried to check them. All I'm saying is it just seems to be hinging around our 1099s and things that W-2s, and I'm just deleting because I have no reason to. One reached out for fraud, and I'm not clicking. I don't know if anybody else is having any trouble, but I had one call and probably 3 or 4 texts and emails yesterday. Open forum. Anybody wish to address the board? Go ahead. Address your name and address, please.
Good morning. My name is Brian Metling. I'm from Brownton, Minnesota. Myself and my daughter are co-owners of Surprise Valley Cannabis. And I have a working grow house. We have applied to the state for getting our license. And I would like to take some of your time and explain what our business plan is and why we're doing it. And the most important reason is why we're doing it. In '98, I exploded a disc in my back at work, which sent me down to a path of 3 back surgeries. My second back surgery was done at the Mayo Clinic, in which they introduced me to this fabulous new drug that's not habit-forming and non-addictive called Oxycontin. I spent 21 years on Oxycontin. And cannabis is what got me off of it. I could stand here for hours and tell you the horror stories of my life of 21 years of the pain that I've been through. So this is a personal journey for us. When I talked to my daughter about starting this company, she said, "Dad, we have to do this. It gave you your life back." And our business plan is to grow the indica strain, which is more of your body, your healing type thing. The sativa is the one that gets you all high and makes you act stupid. Our plan is to do 100% indica. We are not listed as a medical cannabis company. I believe we are listed as a medical healing cannabis company. There's a third one in there. I'm not 100% correct on what it is, but I know it has something to do with the healing, and that's what our business is about. We would like to build a new building in McLeod County. We want to do it in the country. And the biggest part of our building is to have tours. We want to inform people of the benefits of this product. The government did a study in 1974 about the benefits of this product, and they didn't release it until this year. There is a lot of benefits to this product. Now, interesting enough, the other morning I was watching TV and they have a new drug called Sublocane, I believe it is, for opioid addiction. It's another opioid. One of the side effects may cause you to stop breathing. I heard the second one, the second commercial for this, may cause death. Okay, in my humble opinion, that replaces anal leakage on the bottom of the barrel for side effects. And I'm glad you're not laughing because that's not funny. This is our mission and this is what we want to do. We want to educate people. We want to make them feel better without doing prescription drugs, if possible. And it is personal for me and it's personal for my whole family because we lived it. There are years of my life that I do not remember because of this. I had a dope sick doctor. I went in there, the first time I seen him, I was on 30 milligrams a day. 30 days later, I was on 115. I have no idea of those 2 years. That is why we are doing this, and I know I cannot do it without your support. And my book is wide open. 2.5 years ago, I knew virtually nothing about this industry. And we have learned and educated ourselves, and we want to do it in a manner that's going to help people. If you want to go get stoned and stand in the corner and act stupid, go someplace else. That is not our mission. Our mission is to try and help people.
Could I have your name again, please?
Do you want a business card?
Yeah, fine.
I believe, though, it's Brian Mittling from Broughton, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
I believe I left you a message.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. I mean, this is an open forum, so I really appreciate your firsthand
Thank you, Brian.
information on what you're doing, but have you talked with our planning and zoning? They have, okay. I mean, that's all I can ask right now. It'll be brought forward. We have addressed one other. I mean, that's all I have.
I would like to address one other thing.
Go ahead.
With all due respect to Mr. Talicki, there was one issue about the smell from growing the plants, okay? I can stand here and tell you 100% positive, you can stand outside my building, you will not smell it. My building is an enclosed building. The grow room itself has its own environment. I'm producing CO2. There is no air going in and out of that room at all unless somebody opens the door and walks in. So I can stand here in front of you 100% confident. I could grow in downtown Glencoe and you wouldn't know it. Unless something catastrophically happened. You know, stuff happens that people can't plan for. But everything that, all the research and all the stuff that we have done, that is part of the equation that we can deal with. I can guarantee it. I've been growing in my basement for 2 years, and I've had people over and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. So I'm 100% confident that I can pull this off. And I understand, you know, you drive down 94, you drive in the Southern Metro where they're growing, and you smell it. And the biggest problem I have is if they have air going in, they have pollen, they have mold, they have all kinds of spores going in that can affect that plant. I don't have that problem because I have no air going in and out.
Well, again, I thanks for the information, and I work with Mar, I mean, there's hoops to jump, lack of a better word, but I personally have no issues, I mean, but we have to meet all our statutes.
Well, and it's, you
So
know,
you're
it's a
saying
new-
this is in town?
Pardon me?
This is in the city of Brownton?
No.
Okay.
I'm on 9 acres outside
Okay.
of Brownton.
Well, yeah, thank you for sharing. You brought forward your kind of personal journey, which meant a lot, and by coming here today, you definitely proved your point to transparency in your process, so.
Well, and it's the journey. The journey is what has brought us here, myself and my daughter. And I want to thank you for your time, and I know I can't do this without your support. And I just ask that you know, listen to what I had to say and come up with a good decision. If it's not going to work in this county, please let me know. I won't waste anybody's time if it's not going to work here. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else want to address the board? By the way, thanks for waiting patiently through the whole meeting. I noticed you were here before I was, and you're still here, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Your name?
Yeah, Doyle Benson from Collins Township.
Okay.
So I, as things have progressed here, I have, with the elections, I have some things I just want to make a little bit more clear what I object. So typically, so whether it's right or wrong, typically if we don't object, things keep moving forward. And so I would like to personally make some suggestions or my objections clear. So if I may approach the bench, I'd like to hand each one of you a sheet, please.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Doyle.
Thank you. Whoop.
And Stefan, for the minutes, I'll give you one. So obviously, there are state statutes that you need to follow, and that needs to be brought out. So the public hears which statutes are, in my opinion, not very good. So number one, absentee ballots, so I object. So these are the listing of objections and then a correction in the later half of the sentence. I object absentee ballots coming from the county auditor. All ballots should come from their own township or precinct clerks, just as it was years ago. 2, absentee ballots counted in the government center. Again, all absentee ballots should be sent out and opened and counted in their precincts with the election judges, just like it was years ago. 3, computer machine voting. Only paper ballots should be used and counted without machines, just like it was years ago. 4, absentee ballots used for convenience. Absentee ballots should only be used for military and voters with medical issues or those who are out of the area. Sorry, on election day. Sorry, I should have added that. Just like it was years ago. 5, multiple ballots. Only one ballot should be used, just like it was years ago. 6, absentee ballots counted before election day ends. I object to that. Ballots should only be counted after election day is done after 8 p.m., just like years ago. 7, hiring single temporary election workers. So this is referring, or this would be like the example given last meeting where we have medical leaves during elections and now we need to hire temporary help. So while it should never be, in my opinion, should never be counted here in the county audit room or the county area here, they should go out to the precincts, back out to the precincts and townships. However, if that is not going to be followed, then when temporary election workers are needed, 2 should be hired at a time, 1 from each party. But the county, like I said, county should not need help because the election should be run by the township or precinct clerks, just like it was years ago. Number 8, the county auditor appointing part of the canvassing board. The election judges equally appoint anyone needed to help with the election canvassing if someone is needed, but have equal party representation just like years ago. Now I know the statute was read here earlier today, but as far as I need to make the objections known, and just because we have state statutes does not mean that it follows the Constitution. So and then the additional comments in the bottom, election judges need to be in with the ballots and poll watchers need to be close enough to read the ballots but not touch them. Everyone, and this is my opinion here, everyone must do their part to preserve this country and its Constitution. We must be soldiers here inside our home front while our military soldiers protect our borders. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other open forum? Anybody wish to address the board? Not seeing. Press relations? No press. With that, I will ask for a recess until our next county board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. Is there a motion to recess until that time? Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're recessed.